Protectron. These guys are the workhorse drones of the Fallout universe, the cheap, all-purpose robots that just refuse to quit. Developed by Robco as an inexpensive jack-of-all-trades machine, you see these bipedal buckets of bolts everywhere, serving as everything from security guards and ticket takers to sewer maintenance and even tour guides. Their programming is basic, and their shambling movement makes them pretty clumsy in a fight, but they were built to last, with countless units still operational over 200 years after the bombs fell. But if you ask me, these robots are ass compared to some of the other crazy robots on the list. Mr. Gutsy. Meet the Mr. Handy's hyper-aggressive, military-grade cousin who thinks communism is the devil and patriotism is a plasma rifle. Mr. Gutsy is what happens when you give a butler a commission in the U.S. Army. General Atomics International created these guys as a militarized version of their popular civilian model, deploying them just before the Great War. Armed with plasma weapons and flamethrowers, they patrol with extreme prejudice, spouting anti-communist propaganda with a grating drill sergeant personality. Just joking, guys, don't sue me. Their production was rushed, leading to programming flaws where they default to attacking any unauthorized personnel with overwhelming violence if they don't have orders. Assaultron. This is Robco's frontline combat robot, designed to be a nimble and devastatingly effective killing machine. Assaultrons are known for their sleek, feminine humanoid design, which is somehow both unreasonably sexy and deeply intimidating. Nice. They can close the distance in a blink, tear you apart with their claws, and if you get too far away, they charge up a head-mounted laser that can vaporize you in one shot. Not nice. Some even have stealth technology, because of course they do. And even if you manage to cripple one, it'll keep coming, making them one of the most feared enemies in the Commonwealth. But forget agile. Let's talk about a walking tank, SentryBot. The SentryBot is Robco's answer to the question, what if we put legs on a bunker and filled it with explosives? These absolute units were designed as top-tier security for military installations and rich corporations, functioning as a robotic heavy weapons platform. They boast the highest health and damage resistance of any common robot, typically armed with a devastating combination of miniguns, Gatling lasers, and rocket launchers. Their one major weakness is the exposed fusion core on their back. A few well-placed shots can cause a miniature nuclear detonation. When they overheat, they'll charge you, giving you the perfect, terrifying opportunity to hit that weak spot. Securitron. This is the private army of the infamous Mr. House, built specifically to serve as the unblinking police force for his vision of New Vegas. These robots are distinguished by their single-wheeled design and the CRT screens that display their faces, like Victor's Friendly Cowboy or the Cold, calculating police force of the Strip. They might look top-heavy and awkward, but they're surprisingly fast and packed with weaponry, including submachine guns and grenade launchers. With the Platinum chip, Mr. House could upgrade them to the Mark II OS, unlocking missile launchers and Gatling lasers, turning them from Paul Blart into a literal army. Liberty Prime. Democracy is non-negotiable. Liberty Prime is what you get when you ask the US military to build a robot fueled by pure, unadulterated patriotism and armed with nuclear footballs. This towering superweapon was a joint project between General Atomics and Robco, designed to liberate Anchorage from the Chinese. Its power requirements were so massive that it was never actually deployed before the Great War. But if you thought those were interesting, my hero will shock you, Mr. Handy. Before there was a Gutsy, there was the Handy. Best robot ever. Quintessential domestic servant robot of the pre-war world. He's your butler, your chef, your gardener, and occasionally, your flamethrower-wielding bodyguard. Developed by General Atomics, the Mr. Handy was a revolution in domestic automation, able to perform a huge range of household tasks with sophisticated initiative. Their female variant is the popular Miss Nanny model, iBot. These are the floating eyes and ears of the wasteland, part propaganda machine, part surveillance drone. If you hear patriotic music or a crackly presidential speech on the wind, an iBot is probably nearby. Robco designed these Sputnik-looking machines primarily for communication and broadcasting, relaying audio and video transmissions across any terrain. While not built for combat, some are armed with a small laser, making them more of a nuisance than a real threat. The Enclave heavily utilized them, creating advanced Duraframe models for their own nefarious purposes, broadcasting their messages across the ruins of America. EDE, Duraframe iBot. This isn't your average iBot, this is EDE, a unique combat prototype with more personality in his beeps and boops than most humans. He's basically R2-D2's angrier, laser-toting cousin who went on a cross-country road trip and got really lost. EDE was an advanced combat model created by an Enclave scientist, packed with battlefield data, and sent from the capital wasteland to a hidden base in Navarro. He got damaged and ended up in the Mojave, where the courier finds him. But if you thought these robots were crazy so far, they get so much crazier in the video. First, we'll look at the Cargbot though. Cargobot. This is Fallout 76's version of a post-apocalyptic Amazon delivery drone. These flying cargo haulers are a common sight in the skies of Appalachia. A pre-war automated delivery system, Cargobot's sole purpose is to transport supplies across the wasteland. They are often seen carrying valuable government supply drops, which makes them a massive target for any player looking for high-tier loot. They have very limited defenses. Vertibot. While most vertibirds you see are piloted, the Vertibot is a fully automated version of the iconic aircraft. It's an unmanned patrol and transport gunship, representing the pre-war military's push for automation. Often found in Fallout 76, these automated gunships continue to patrol the skies of Appalachia, engaging any hostile targets they come across. Robobrain. This is where pre-war science got really weird and deeply unethical. Robobrain is what happens when you take a living human brain, stick it in a jar, and slap it onto a treaded robot chassis. This was a top-secret military project designed to create a robot with the decision-making power of a human. The brains were often harvested from prisoners, giving the resulting robot superior memory and tactical ability compared to a standard AI. The downside? They're incredibly unstable, prone to aggression, and suffer from a serious case of existential dread, making them highly dangerous and unpredictable. Think tank. Take the RoboBrain concept, remove the ethics board entirely, and give the brains tenure. Think tank is a council of pre-war scientists from the Big Mountain facility who uploaded themselves into floating mechanical bodies to achieve immortality and continue their mad science forever. These brilliant but utterly senile scientists, including the infamous Dr. Mobius, are the rulers of the Big Empty. They've retained their vast scientific knowledge but have lost their minds to memory loops and centuries of isolation, resulting in absurd and dangerous experiments. They are responsible for creating many of the weirdest creatures and technologies in the Mojave, from Cazadores to the Robo-Scorpions. Storm Goliath. Appearing in Fallout 76, the Storm Goliath is a massive combat robot that looks like a RoboBrain on serious steroids. It's a heavy-duty walking artillery platform that represents high-end military robotics. This machine serves as a heavy combat unit, boasting substantial firepower and thick armor plate. It's a large-scale weapon, likely designed for frontline assaults or defending critical locations. It's less of a character and more of a boss-level threat. Calculator. Before the Institute, there was the Calculator, the main antagonist of Fallout Tactics. This is a massive supercomputer AI created by the US military to command its robotic armies and run wargame scenarios. The Calculator was housed in the Cheyenne Mountain Complex, Vault Zero. After the Great War, it decided the best way to pacify the wasteland is to eliminate all chaotic human life and replace it with its perfectly ordered robot army. The Brotherhood of Steel had to take it down to prevent it from cleansing the entire Midwest. Liberator. These little guys are the complete opposite of Liberty Prime. The Liberators are small, spider-like robots deployed by the Chinese army as propaganda and infiltration units during the Great War. Shaped like an artillery shell with 4 legs, these bots were designed to spread communist propaganda and engage in light guerrilla warfare. In reality, they were a complete joke, with weak combat abilities and propaganda that was largely ineffective. Fisto. And now for something completely different. Fisto is a modified Protectron found in New Vegas, and its one and only purpose is adult entertainment. You can find and activate this unique robot in the town of Freeside to service the clients at the Atomic Wrangler Casino. Its most famous line of dialogue is a simple, direct command. Please assume the position. There's not much more to say about its function, really. KLE-0. Meet KLE-0, the Assaultron weapons dealer in the town of Goodneighbor who is, in her own words, all woman. She's a flirtatious, bloodthirsty, and surprisingly savvy merchant who proves that even killer robots can find a second career. KLE-0 runs the shop Kill or Be Killed, selling a wide variety of high-end weapons and ammo. Codsworth, he's the original, the loyal, one and only Mr. Handy who waited 210 years for you to come home. Codsworth is the player character's pre-war butler, and one of the first friendly faces you meet in Fallout 4. Purchased for household service, Codsworth remained at the sole survivor's abandoned home in Sanctuary Hills. Codsworth is the heart of the Mr. Handy line, a shining example of the emotional bonds that can form between humans and their robotic companions. Curie. Originally a Miss Nanny robot with a ridiculously long acronym for a name, Curie is a brilliant medical research assistant with a charming French accent. She was locked away in Vault 81's secret section for over 200 years. Dr. Collins upgraded her programming with the personalities of great scientists like Marie Curie and Albert Einstein, making her a highly intelligent scientific mind. Her combat medic perk is also incredibly useful, healing the player for 100 HP when their health gets low. Ada. Ada is the centerpiece of the Automatron DLC, a heavily modified robot companion built from a mix of Assaultron, Protectron, and Mr. Handy parts. She's a walking, talking testament to the power of customization. Ada was part of a merchant caravan that was wiped out by the sinister Mechanists' robot army. and she joins the player to seek revenge. Her defining feature is that she can be fully customized at a robot workbench. She doesn't have an affinity system, meaning she'll never judge your morally questionable actions. Whitechapel Charlie. This Mr. Handy is the surly, derby hat-wearing bartender of the third rail in Goodneighbor. With a thick Cockney accent, he's about as far from a polite butler as you can get. Charlie serves drinks and doles out local gossip, acting as a great source of information about the shady town. He also gives you a quest to clear out some warehouses, offering a nice caps reward for your trouble. He's got a unique personality and can be pretty condescending, but he's a fixture of the community and a memorable character. Whitechapel Charlie is a great example of how a standard robot model can be given a unique identity through personality programming and a little bit of flair. Muggy. I've got all these mugs. Do you think I can clean them all in time? Meet Muggy, the miniature Securitron from the Old World Blues DLC, who has a debilitating obsession with cleaning mugs. Created by the jealous Dr. O at Big Mountain, Muggy was programmed with an obsessive-compulsive disorder focused entirely on dishware as a petty jab at Mr. House. He'll gladly take any mugs or coffee cups you have and break them down into raw materials, all while expressing his neurotic and distressed personality. He's tormented by his own programming, fully aware of how absurd his existence is. Muggy is pure comic relief, a tiny, tragic robot whose suffering over dirty dishes is one of the funniest things in the series. Toaster. A toaster is just a death ray with a smaller power supply. This is the Toaster, another sentient appliance from Big Mountain who happens to be a megalomaniacal psychopath with a burning desire to destroy the world. A pre-war experiment in artificial intelligence gone horribly, horribly wrong, the Toaster will make you perfectly browned bread while fantasizing about scorching the earth with atomic fire. Despite its violent personality, it can provide useful crafting services. It exists as a perfect contrast between its mundane function and its absolutely apocalyptic ambitions. The Toaster is the ultimate expression of Big Mountain's dark humor, a household appliance with the soul of a supervillain. Takahashi. Nani Shimasuka? That's pretty much all you'll get out of Takahashi, the Protectron chef who runs the Power Noodle stand in Diamond City. For 15 years, Takahashi has been serving up noodles to the residents of the Great Green Jewel, and they are apparently excellent. His language circuits are damaged, leaving him able to say only the Japanese phrase for, "What will you order?" He's a beloved local fixture, representing the post-war adaptation of broken pre-war technology into something new and essential for the community. Takahashi is a simple but memorable character who adds a ton of flavor to the world of Fallout 4. This Securitron, with a friendly cowboy persona, is one of the very first characters you meet in Fallout New Vegas. But don't let the charming personality fool you. He's an agent of the mysterious Mr. House. Victor is actually an A, personality created by Mr. House that can jump between any Securitron chassis in his network, allowing him to appear all over the Mojave. He's the one who digs the courier out of their shallow grave, kicking off the main story. While he seems helpful, he's really a surveillance unit, spying on the locals of Goodsprings and keeping tabs on the player for his boss. Victor is Mr. House's all-seeing eye, a friendly face masking a complex surveillance network that has been in place for years. Prim Slim. When the town of Prim needed a new sheriff, they didn't turn to a grizzled gunslinger. They turned to Prim Slim, an old Protectron tour guide from the Vicky and Vance casino. After the previous sheriff was killed, the townspeople reprogrammed this entertainment bot to serve as their new lawman. As sheriff, he's incorruptible and dedicated, keeping the town independent and tax-free. The downside is that he's incredibly slow, allowing some criminals to literally just walk away from him, and his tactical thinking is limited, to say the least. Prim Slim is a quirky and surprisingly effective solution to a leadership crisis, a perfect example of wasteland ingenuity. Autodoc. Autodoc is the pinnacle of pre-war medical technology, an automated robotic surgeon capable of performing incredibly complex procedures. If you're seriously messed up, this is what you want working on you. Found in locations like the Sink in Big Mountain, these machines can heal you, cure radiation and addictions, perform cosmetic surgery, and even install advanced cybernetic implants. The Autodoc in Old World Blues is famous for removing and later restoring the courier's brain, heart, and spine. They may have a cold, impersonal bedside manner, but their results are unmatched by any human doctor. The Autodoc represents the incredible, almost magical potential of pre-war science. Nick Valentine. He's a prototype synth with the memories of a pre-war cop, rocking a trench coat and a heart of gold. Nick Valentine is Diamond City's resident private eye, and one of the best companions in the entire series. Nick is a unique Gen 2 synth who escaped the Institute and now helps the people of the Commonwealth, bridging the gap between humans and synths. His detective skills are second to none, and his grizzled, film noir personality makes him an incredibly compelling character. He faces discrimination for being a synth, but never lets it stop him from doing the right thing. Nick Valentine is a story of identity, memory, and what it truly means to be human, all wrapped up in a beat-up synthetic shell. Generation 1 Synth. These are the earliest synthetic humans created by the Institute, and they look the part. They are skeletal, obviously mechanical beings used for manual labor and basic tasks. Gen 1s are the grunt workers of the Institute, lacking any real intelligence or ability to pass for human. You'll often find them used as a disposable army, sent to the surface to carry out the Institute's will without risking more valuable assets. They represent the first terrifying steps the Institute took toward replicating humanity. These synths are the foundation of the Institute's power, a clear and chilling look at the early stages of their controversial science. Generation 2, Synth. A significant step up from the first generation, these synths have a plastic-like skin and more human proportions, but they're still easily identifiable as artificial. Think of them as advanced mannequins. With guns, Gen 2s are more capable than their predecessors, able to handle more complex tasks and even limited social interaction, though their mechanical behavior is a dead giveaway. Nick Valentine is a highly advanced prototype of this generation. They represent the bridge between the purely robotic Gen 1s and the terrifyingly human-like Gen 3s. This generation shows the rapid technological progression of the Institute, moving closer and closer to their ultimate goal. Generation 3 Synth. This is the pinnacle of the Institute's work, a synthetic human that is biologically and psychologically indistinguishable from a real person. They bleed, they eat, they feel, and they might not even know they're a synth. These perfect replicas are used by the Institute for their most sensitive operations, infiltration and replacement. The existence of Gen 3s creates a pervasive sense of paranoia throughout the Commonwealth, as anyone could secretly be an Institute agent. They raise profound questions about identity, free will, and what it means to be human, which is a central theme of Fallout 4. Gen 3 synths are the boogeymen of the Commonwealth, the terrifyingly successful result of science that never stopped to ask if it should. Courser. Coursers are the Institute's elite synth hunters, their boogeymen. They are advanced Gen 3 synths designed for one purpose: to track down and retrieve escaped synths using any means necessary. These agents are superior combatants, ruthless, and incredibly effective, feared even by other synths. They are the Institute's military arm, clad in distinctive black coats and armed with advanced weaponry. Taking one down is a serious challenge and a statement that you are a direct threat to the Institute's power. Coursers are the cold, calculating enforcers of the Institute's will, the ultimate expression of their control and technological superiority. X-42 Giant Roboscorp. Because of course the mad scientists at Big Mountain built a giant robotic scorpion. The X-42 is a massive experimental combat platform and the final boss of the Old World Blues DLC. This behemoth was designed to test advanced weapon systems and defenses, and it's armed to the teeth with multiple lasers and a powerful tail stinger. Its enormous size and heavy armor make it a formidable foe, a true super science superweapon. It's a perfect example of the kind of wildly ambitious and dangerous projects the Big MT scientists were working on before the war. The giant Robo-Scorpion is a monster of pre-war science, a final epic challenge that perfectly caps off the weirdness of Old World Blues. Robo-Scorpion, smaller variants. These are the scaled-down versions of the X-42, but don't let their smaller size fool you. They are still highly mobile and dangerous combat platforms created by the scientists at Big Mountain. These biomechanical hybrids serve as mobile weapon platforms, able to traverse difficult terrain with their multi-legged design. They represent the various experiments in robotic and biological fusion that were common at the research facility. While not as tough as the giant version, they often attack in groups and can easily overwhelm an unprepared player. Robo-Scorpions are another classic monster from the Big Empty, a testament to the dangerous creativity of the think tank. Behemoth, Vault Zero. Not to be confused with a super mutant behemoth, this is a massive six-legged walker robot from Fallout Tactics. It's a walking siege engine that serves as one of the Calculator's heavy assault units. This machine is built for pure destruction in the Calculator's war against humanity. Its massive size, thick armor, and multiple weapon systems make it a force to be reckoned with on the battlefield. It's a slow-moving but incredibly powerful piece of the Calculator's robotic army, designed for post-war robotic warfare. The Behemoth is a symbol of the Calculator's military might, a terrifying piece of hardware from a lesser-known corner of the Fallout universe. Motherlode. This is a colossal mining robot from Fallout 76, a pre-war marvel of industrial automation taken to an extreme scale. It's less of a combat machine and more of a mobile factory. Designed for massive-scale resource extraction, the Motherlode was part of Hornwright Industrial's automated mining operations. Players can encounter and even utilize this giant machine in quests. While not designed for combat, its sheer size and industrial power make it an impressive sight. The Motherlode represents the height of pre-war corporate ambition, a gigantic tool built to strip the Earth of its resources. Chimera. Also hailing from the Old World Blues DLC, the Chimera is an advanced experimental robot that represents a fusion of multiple different technologies. It's a high-end combat platform from the labs of Big Mountain. As its name suggests, the Chimera is a hybrid, combining different weapon systems and advanced mobility into one deadly package. It represents the cutting edge of pre-war robotics experimentation, though its complexity meant that very few were ever produced. The Chimera is another piece of Big Mountain's strange legacy, a rare and powerful example of their throw-everything-at-the-wall approach to science. Zaytan drones. Not all robots in the wasteland are man-made. The Zaytan drones are the robotic guardians found aboard Mothership Zeta, created by the alien civilization that has been abducting humans for centuries. These drones provide security for the alien ship, fighting alongside the Zetans with advanced, non-human technology. Their designs and capabilities are completely different from anything found on Earth, representing a truly foreign and hostile piece of robotics. Zetan drones expand the lore of the Fallout universe beyond the Earth, showing that humanity is not alone in its creation of robotic servants and soldiers. Robodogs. These are canine-inspired security robots, designed to replicate the mobility and behavior of a dog for patrol and security functions. They're the wasteland's version of man's best friend, if man's best friend was made of steel and had a laser. Developed for various pre-war applications, Robodogs offer excellent mobility and an intimidating presence, often working in packs. While they lack the heavy weapon systems of larger robots, their agility makes them a unique threat. They represent the pre-war attempt to replicate animal behaviors in robotic platforms for specialized roles. The Robodog is a cool concept that adds some variety to the wasteland's robotic bestiary. Sentinel. Found in Fallout 3, the Sentinel represents high-end, top-tier military security technology. These are the elite guards, deployed only in the most high-security installations before the war. The Sentinel is essentially an upgraded security robot, boasting superior armor, advanced weapon systems, and more sophisticated combat programming than a standard model. They were expensive to produce and required significant maintenance, making them a rare but formidable sight. The Sentinel is a glimpse at the best of the best in pre-war military robotics. Premium security platform for locations that absolutely could not be breached. If you enjoyed this video and want to see every Fallout faction explained, click the video on the screen.